Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV Nightly News.
Murder of Jalisco cartel leader sparks violence across western Mexico.
A blizzard is barreling through the northeast area.
More news about UNT's $45 million budget deficit.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Zaria Holloman.
And I'm Evanson Franklove. Tonight, the country of Mexico is on edge. The bloody violence that broke out yesterday after the death of a major drug cartel leader seems to have calmed down. So far, 62 deaths are reported, including a number of Mexican soldiers. Now, some airlines are resuming service to the resort town of Puerto Vallarta, but tourists are still being told to shelter in place. CNN's Valeria Leon has the latest.
Fire, smoke, and chaos across several Mexican states. Cities brought to a standstill as criminal groups retaliate after Mexico's most wanted drug leader died following a military operation Sunday. Blocked highways, drivers forced out of their cars at gunpoint, trucks and buses set on fire. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, a former police officer known to most as El Mencho, was the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, wounded during a Mexican military operation and later died while being transported to Mexico City. The U.S. played a role in Sunday's operation, according to U.S. defense officials, though it's unclear to what extent. As fear spread, many Mexicans spoke out calling for an end to the violence.
People are aware of this violence, and what they want is peace, to live in harmony and justice, not in war.
Blockades were reported across various states, and classes were suspended in at least 3 states as officials tried to contain the violence and keep civilians off the streets.
I'm tired of seeing this continue every single day.
Under El Mencho's command, the cartel expanded rapidly, challenging rivals like the Sinaloa cartel for control of territory and trafficking routes. According to U.S. and Mexican officials, El Mencho managed to avoid capture for years. His detention and death is one of the most significant blows to organized crime in recent years, and the first high-profile operation under President Claudia Sheinbaum. The fall of El Mencho may mark a major security milestone, but with tourism, foreign investment, and security for the 2026 World Cup at stake, the world is watching how Mexico handles what comes next. Valeria Leon, CNN, Mexico City.
Well, I'm not sure about you, Evanson, but I definitely needed a jacket today. Thank goodness the sun came out to balance it just a little bit.
I didn't just need a jacket today. I needed one yesterday, today, who knows, tomorrow. Let's check in with our weather anchor, Ian Cropper, to let us know what the weather's looking like. Ian?
Thanks, guys. Well, the good news is you won't need those jackets for much longer because we are going to see a substantial warm-up tomorrow. Looking at today's temperatures, we're currently at an actual and feels like of 56 with a 3-mile-per-hour wind to the southeast. Going into tonight, you will see it cool down a little bit, going to 46 for an actual temperature, 43 for the feels like. Wind picking up a little bit, 5 miles to the south-southeast. But look at tomorrow because that's where you start to see a big difference. Look at that high, 72 and sunny. That's almost nice. Also feels like a 72, so that is actually pretty warm. The one downside, though, look at that wind speed, 22 miles per hour to the south-southwest. So maybe you still want a lighter jacket as a windbreaker, but other than that, you could do a lot worse. But will this trend hold up? I'll be back later in the show to tell you. For the meantime, back to you on the desk.
Thanks, Ian. It's nice to know we have some warm weather to look forward to. Another thing to look forward to are some new changes to UNT's campus and its wallet. We turn to Haley Stum to learn more. Haley?
That's right, Zaria. I'm outside the Hurley Administration Building where UNT President Harrison Keller's office has had their hands full since notifying the public Tuesday of the university's increased debt. Last August, UNT's Board of Regents approved a $31.2 million deficit budget for the current fiscal year. The university projects, however, that deficit has grown to $45 million. Keller disclosed the two major reasons for the growing debt are from a decline in international master's student enrollment and reduced state funding. Now, the university is taking steps towards reducing its budget deficit. It was announced today UNT is introducing a voluntary separation program, offering compensation to qualifying faculty members in exchange for their departure. The budget office also sent an email announcing a budget broadcast meeting with the intentions and audience for the meeting unknown at this time. Other possible budget cuts include the elimination of smaller offices or programs and higher teaching loads for some faculty. UNT Chancellor Michael Williams addressed the financial challenges at the Board of Regents meeting Thursday, saying it is very real and demands our full attention. And of course, the people that are making these economic decisions are part of our government at the local, state, and federal level. Next Tuesday, you can make an impact on choosing who these people might be. My colleague Katie Muncie is live outside the Gateway Center with more. Katie?
We are currently in the second week of early voting, and I am currently outside the Gateway Center where UNT students can cast their ballots till now until Friday. Although the first week just ended, the Democratic early voting has surged compared to both the last midterm cycle and the presidential primary. According to the Texas Secretary of State, nearly 483,000 Democrats had cast early ballots as of Sunday. That's over double the amount from 2022, where the number of ballots casted at this time was 211,000 ballots. In comparison, Republican turnout stands at about 446,000 ballots. Early voting began on Tuesday and will end this Friday. Election Day is March 3rd. That's all I have for tonight. With NTTV Nightly News, I'm Katie Muncie.
Thanks, Katie. Friday's Supreme Court ruling struck down many of President Trump's tariffs, but it's looking like that is not the end of the story. Reed Binion reports that opponents like California Governor Gavin Newsom are still fighting back.
The whole thing is a farce.
Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom reacting to President Donald Trump's Saturday announcement that he's raising global tariffs to 15% from the 10% he imposed a day earlier.
It was 10% 2 days ago, maybe 20% tomorrow. I mean, this is madness.
The back-to-back tariff announcements came after the Supreme Court handed down a decision Friday, ruling the sweeping emergency tariffs Trump imposed last year are illegal. But the High Court's ruling only applies to the duties Trump imposed using one specific law. And the president immediately responded by saying he will now rely on other legal authorities to keep tariffs in place.
Other alternatives will now be used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected.
The law Trump is relying on for his new 15% global tariffs requires that Congress approve the duties within 150 days for them to remain in effect. As for the tens of billions of dollars U.S. companies paid after Trump raised tariffs last year, Democrats are demanding the money be refunded.
He needs to return that money, needs to refund that money with interest. He can do that in a nanosecond. They can do that electronically. They can do it electronically. They have the tariff codes. They have the ability.
But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says it's not that simple.
The Supreme Court did not address refunds. The Supreme Court remanded it down to a lower court. That could be weeks or months when we hear them.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
After the break, a blizzard working its way through United States Northeast region.
And Hearts for the Homeless is having a meeting at the UNT campus. Stay with us.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union parking garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Man, are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my god.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our Mean Green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
It may turn out to be the biggest snowfall in New York City history. This is Central Park this afternoon.
New York City reported almost 20 inches of snow by early afternoon. The last time the park saw anything close to this was 2016.
The snow should be ending shortly, but bitter cold temperatures combined with strong winds make for miserable conditions. NTTV's Naomi Ojamo is tracking the storm plowing through the Northeast. Naomi?
40 million people who spent the day under blizzard warnings all along the East Coast. This is what the massive winter storm looks like. From space, we can clearly see the center of what's known as a bomb cyclone wrapping into the form of a hook shape. As it rapidly increases, this type of coastal storms can strengthen fast and dump huge amounts of snow in a short period of time. From Virginia to Maine, wind gusts topping 50 miles per hour were recorded through the day. Power remains off for at least 10,000 homes in the region. CNN's Michael Yoshida has the latest from Boston.
A massive winter storm hammering the Northeast. Blizzard conditions here in Boston, Massachusetts. Heavy, wet snow and strong winds impacting millions. Wild winter weather slamming the Northeast.
We're sort of a foot and a half under snow. It's a wicked nor'easter.
A massive bomb cyclone putting more than 40 million people under blizzard warnings and grinding travel to a halt.
We need residents to really stay home and heed that warning.
At least 7 states have received a foot of snow or more, and at least 4 states have been buried under at least 2 feet.
This is the worst storm in over a decade for us.
The heavy snow and hurricane-force wind gusts creating whiteout conditions, downing trees and power lines, leaving thousands in the dark.
We had about 5,000, over 5,000 public workers, public utility workers across the state deployed. They're really getting people back up and online as quickly as possible.
New York receiving the most snow from a single storm in over 5 years.
Since last night, New York City has been in near blizzard conditions. Conditions have begun to moderate, but there is still more to come.
As the storm tracks north, blizzard conditions wreaking havoc on much of New England. In Boston, heavy, wet snow, wind gusts over 40 miles per hour, and a quarter-mile visibility making navigation treacherous.
Don't go out if you don't need to.
As some enjoy winter wonderland,
we look forward to it and the town just shuts down completely.
Others face a nightmare.
We're just in the airport. We don't know what we're going to do.
More than 10,000 flights have been canceled from Sunday to Tuesday, according to FlightAware, stranding travelers across the region. And as these conditions slowly improve, officials warning that the cleanup process to get this snow out of the roadways and highways, that will take some time. It also will be a slow process to get the power back on for all of those impacted by this storm. In Boston, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Quite a different weather forecast. Here, Ian Cropper has our forecast.
That's right, Naomi. It is quite different down south. Fortunately, it is going to warm up later, but for the time being, it is still going to be a bit cool. Looking around the region, our lows are in the east in Sulphur Springs and Paris, while our highs are in the west with Graham and Stephenville. Now, you will notice that the temperature is largely the same, only variance about 6 degrees across the region, but Denton up here in the north is a bit colder than Fort Worth at 57 and Dallas at 58. Now, let's zoom out to the state. You will see largely the same pattern, but just with a bit more variance. Our high is all the way over in the west in El Paso, where our low is 53 up in the north in Oklahoma City. You do see some colder temperatures out east, too. Shreveport is at 54, we're at 56. Austin down south and Houston, also down south, are at 63 and 62 respectively. So you do get a bit warmer down south. Now let's look at that 7-day forecast, and like I said, it is going to get warmer throughout the week. You will have some high winds on Tuesday, but honestly, the weather is going to be pretty solid as you go into the weekend. Unfortunately, towards the end there, it will start to drop back down, going from a high of 81 on Saturday to a high of 67 on Sunday. But still, Friday and Saturday in particular should be great days for any outdoor activities with the nice temperatures and bright sun. And that is all I have for weather. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Ian. When the weather is as clear as today, you might not think about people without a place to stay. But the truth is, homelessness is a year-round issue, and finding a way to stay healthy can be very difficult for those in need.
That's right, Edinson. Help can be so hard to find, but our live shot anchor, Alex Schwartz, has information about a group of people that are looking to change that.
150 people were reported as actively homeless this last month, which is a 33% increase from last year. I'm here with the Hearts for Homeless organization with Ari Tucker. Ari, can you tell me a little bit more about your organization, what you all have accomplished, and how we can get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are Hearts for the Homeless, yes. So we primarily work out of Our Daily Bread, and our volunteer work usually consists of EKG checks, blood pressure readings. We have a scale if they want to monitor weight, and other things relative, but kind of limited to heart-related issues. So we do what we can. Recently, we had an accomplishment in a service project collaboration event with another organization. So we made a few gift packs and little goodies and stuff like that, given like the snowstorm and all that's going on. But yeah.
Thank you, Ari. I'm Alex Schwartz, NTTV. Back to y'all.
Thanks, Alex. Up next, how the North Texas dancers prepare for the national stage.
And an exclusive look at an Oklahoma knife show when we come back.
TRIO is a federally funded grant program. It was funded in the 60s, and it supports student success and student retention. So we have a lounge, computer lab, free printing for our students. We also provide one-on-one advising services for our students, as well as career exploration and prep. Students who are eligible for TRIO include those who are first-gen, low income, or have a disability. They just have to meet one of those three. There are many benefits to being in TRIO. Some of the general ones are the services we provide. The other benefits include creating a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and giving a safe space for students to come. Students can apply for our program by either coming in person and scanning a QR code, or they can also visit our webpage that has a direct link to our online application. And students need to know that we are here to help.
The biggest knife show in Oklahoma took place last Friday at the Oklahoma Fairgrounds. A vast amount of creative, handcrafted knives made by bladesmiths were on display, and I had the chance to sharpen my knowledge about knives.
Please explore and visit all 4 rooms. We have 4 rooms full of knife makers and knife making suppliers. Everything you could possibly need in the custom knife making world is here at this show. Thank you.
The 2026 Oklahoma Knife Show kicked off, and knife makers from all over the world came to present their newest creations.
The Oklahoma Knife Show, the Oklahoma Custom Knife Show, is an event hosted by the Oklahoma Knife Group, which is a group of makers, collectors, and exhibit enthusiasts. Anybody that's interested in knives, custom knives specifically, that's what this show is for. We set the show up once a year. It's custom knives only, nothing else. Imported knives, no factory knives. These are all handmade items.
This knife show is an opportunity for knife makers to network, build connections, and learn about the interesting stories that inspired some of them to make their creations.
My nephew, who was 19 at the time, is an amazing artist. He did this artwork. That's his design on both sides. So we've got Miles with his, with his Jordans right out there, and we got No Expectations.
Oklahoma's largest knife show ended this past Saturday, and the next knife show will be hosted in Fort Worth, Texas. For NTTV News, I'm Evanson Franklove.
They make it look effortless on the sidelines, but competing at the national level takes serious practice and discipline.
As the North Texas dancers prepare for the National Dance Alliance Championship in April, our own Shannon Todd went behind the scenes to see what it really takes to represent UNT on that national stage. Shannon?
Thank you, guys. And yes, you are absolutely right. It takes a strong competitor and great determination to make it to the national stage. The North Texas dancers take these qualities to the next level, and what we see on game day is only a small part of their journey.
North Texas dancers! Good job, guys.
You see me energy, the UNT pride, and the big smiles on game day. But what you don't see is the hard work these dancers put in behind the scenes to represent UNT. With nationals approaching, the North Texas dancers are pushing themselves harder than ever.
Nationals is definitely the hardest I've ever trained in my life. Getting to dance at such a high level with so many skills and technique every single day for pretty much a semester and a half, just for those 2 minutes on stage. It means a lot to me, and it's truly shaped me completely as a dancer. I feel like it has changed my dancing experience and my journey forever.
Preparing for NDA takes months of repetition, long practices, and consistent corrections.
This is something that we're doing for ourselves. It's our opportunity to show what our program does. We love cheering on the other teams at football, volleyball, soccer, all of those things. But this is where we get to show the extra parts of dance.
The North Texas dancers work extremely hard to be great on that national stage, and this practice shows that. While they spend the year supporting other athletic teams, NDA is their moment to take the spotlight and show what their program can really do.
It's our team's one time of the year where it's all about us and our skills and all of our amazing talents, and to get to go out there and represent the little city of Denton and show all of our mean green pride is just such an honor to let people know who we are.
From conditioning drills to perfect technique, the preparation is nonstop. As they prepare to take the floor at nationals, the North Texas dancers are carrying more than choreography with them. They're carrying the name of UNT. For NTTV Nightly News, I'm Shannon Todd.
You can really feel the excitement and adrenaline through the screen. The North Texas dancers are ready to bring home that championship, and they are also ready to take their program to the next level.
Thanks, Shannon. And some good news tonight for an American athlete. Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn. She is finally out of the hospital. In an Instagram video, she thanked her doctor for saving her leg after her big crash at the Olympic Games. Vonn says the fractures in her leg left her with compartment syndrome. If not for the immediate surgery, doctors may have had to amputate her leg. Right now, Vonn is still recovering, which might take a year.
And when it comes to good news, think hockey. It was a joyous welcome for the U.S. men's hockey team. They landed in warm Miami today after their historic Winter Olympic gold medal win in Italy. It was an overtime win and the first gold medal since the historic upset over the Soviet Union more than 20 years ago. The team was headed to celebrate in New York, but their flight was diverted south due to the northeast blizzard.
Now, Zaria, if you could win a medal in any Olympic sport, what do you think it would be? Because mine's is bobsledding.
Okay, that's impressive. I think I would have to go figure skating. I mean, let's take a look at Alyssa Liu.
I know, you're absolutely right. It has honestly been a big week for sports this week. Let's hear from Beth Spicer now to give us the gold. Beth?
Thanks, guys. We're on the gold medal match, UNT men's basketball playoff watch, and the two-time winners for NASCAR. All that and more coming up after the break.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, Our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Morning, Freebird blasted Italy after an amazing overtime goal. The United States beat their main rival, Canada, 2-1, despite the Americans being up 1-0 in the first with a goal from Matt Boldy. The game felt even. What kept the Americans in the game was goalie Connor Hellebuyck, who made 41 saves in the game. The Canadian Kale Maker made for Canada, tying the game 1-1. Overtime didn't last too long till Jack Hughes scored and got the United States the gold. This is the first goal for the United States in men's hockey since the 1980 Miracle Team. UNT men's basketball held on to their chance for the upcoming championship tournament. Last night, with a 73-72 win over the Florida Atlantic Owls, the Mean Green stay ranked 9th in the conference. The tournament, only a few short weeks away, only takes the top 10 in the conference. Stellar performances from Jay Sean Stevenson and Buddy Hammer Jr. going off on scoring. Both even broke personal single-game scoring records. You can watch the Mean Green take on Charlotte on Wednesday to keep their playoff dreams alive. Tyler Reddick wins the first of the 2 races of the 2026 NASCAR season. Reddick becomes the 6th driver in NASCAR history to do so, the first since Matt Kenseth in 2009. Reddick won the Daytona 500 and Auto Trader 600. Reddick's win wasn't the easiest. He crossed the finish line with no right front bender and lots of support from Chase Briscoe. We will see if Reddick can make it 3 in a row next Sunday in Austin at the Grand Prix. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Beth. A jackpot in a pack of cigarettes. The Shields family recently auctioned off a Sweet Caporro T206 Honus Wagner card from 1909 for over $5 million to Golden Auction. The American Tobacco Company collaborated with the Pittsburgh Pirates shortstop before asking the company to pull it from the shelves in 1909. Dennis and Douglas Shields found the card in the warehouse that was left to them by their grandfather.
A piece of history just sold at auction for big bucks. This T206 Honus Wagner card dates back to 1909 when its original owner pulled it from a cigarette pack. The legendary shortstop played 21 seasons across the late 1800s, early 1900s, mostly for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The auction house says the rare card remained among the same family for 117 years until going up for auction, selling for more than $5 million.
Looks like I missed out on $5 million by over 100 years.
I mean, talk about a stroke of luck and a trusty deck of cards.
Yeah, you know, I might need to go check my family attic just to see if I can find any millions of dollars myself.
I mean, me too. Well, I'm Zaria Holloman with NTTV News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.